$1 million over the asking price. Well, technically we sold this house behind me for $1,025,000 over the asking price. So how did we do it? Well, here's the story. The seller called me and said she wanted to sell this home. So we did the standard walkthrough, and I made recommendations on what she could do to get as much money as possible for the house. First thing we did was talk about landscaping. We put in some new plants and things. Then I recommended that we paint the exterior, paint the interior, add some new lighting and so forth. But there are two bigger problems that we came across. One was that had an older wood shake roof, and it was actually in really bad shape. The other was we had older electrical. So I called my insurance agent and I said, am I going to have a problem getting insurance for this property with those two things, the older wood roof and the older electrical? And he said, well, I can insure it if it's got an older wood shake roof, or I can insure it if it's got an older electrical system. But I can't insure it if it's got both. So I went to the seller and I said, because we didn't have it in the budget to do both of those. So I went to the seller and I said, here's my recommendation. I think that because curb appeal is the most important, that we should focus on replacing the roof to increase the curb appeal, and then the buyers could change out the electrical once they bought the house. So she said, okay, that's great. So then we discussed pricing, and I said, what do you think you'd like to get for this house? And she said, well, I'd really like if I could get $3 million. And I pulled up the comparable sales in the neighborhood and I showed them to her, and I said, given the square footage of your house, yours is actually one of the smaller homes in the neighborhood, the comps are suggesting we might only get 2.9 million. Now, I said, we will strategize and negotiate to try to get you the $3 million, but you should make your decision based upon the 2.9 million. She said, okay, that's fine. So I showed her the strategy on pricing the home to get the 3 million or hopefully 3 million plus. And the strategy was price it low, price it at $2.6 million. Don't take offers right away, and then let the buyers bid against one another to bid up the price. She said, okay, that's fine. So we put the home on the market. We waited 8 to 10 days before we actually set the bid date, and then we let the buyers bid. Well, on the bid day, we ended up getting 13 offers. So that's when I knew the strategy was working. Now, it took me 6 to 8 hours to negotiate all those offers against one another, and the highest price, get this, we listed at 2.6 million, the highest price was $3,625,000. So $1,025,000 over the asking price. Now you might say that, hey, that was just a fluke. You had one outlier that got you to that price. Well, actually we had two other offers that were real close to that $1,025,000 over. So the story isn't about getting $1 million over asking. The story is about doing the correct improvements, the strategic improvements, pricing it strategically, negotiating offers against one another to get the highest price possible. So if you're thinking about selling a home and you'd like similar results, maybe not $1 million over asking, let's talk and I can show you the right improvements, the right pricing strategy to get you the top dollar. Chris Eckert, KW Advisors.